is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, March the 4th, 2021. It's the anniversary of the admission of Vermont to the Union in 1791. It was the 14th state to join. Vermont, which for its first 200 years voted Republican in every single presidential election except 1964 when it voted for Lyndon Johnson. But since 1992, it's voted Democratic in every presidential election. 1797, on this day, John Adams was inaugurated, second president of the United States, succeeding George Washington, beating out his rival Thomas Jefferson. The ceremony took place on a sunny day, Philadelphia, at Congress Hall. Adams, dressed in a gray suit, a short, frumpy man. Jefferson, tall and elegant, in a long blue frock coat. Washington, dressed in black velvet. Franklin D. Roosevelt inaugurated on this day, 1933, in the midst of the Depression. Most Americans didn't know how crippled he was from polio, and he tried to keep it a secret. So in order for him to ascend the steps to the podium to take the oath of office, he went up a series of ramps that were hidden behind barriers, walked the last few yards leaning on the arm of his son James, and made it look easy, even though it took great strength. His inaugural address included the famous phrase, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." And it's the birthday of Khaled Hosseini, born in Kabul in 1965, author of the runaway bestseller The Kite Runner, sold more than 12 million copies around the world, came out in 2003. He was the son of a diplomat, an affluent family that immigrated to this country around the time of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. They landed in San Jose when Khaled was 12. They had nearly nothing. They had to go on welfare. His father, the diplomat, found work as a driving instructor in San Jose, and Khaled Hosseini set out to make a career that would earn some income. He went off to medical school, made it through his residency. He was an internist, and then he began to think about writing, which he had always meant to do. He got up at 5 every morning so he could write for 2 hours before he went to the hospital. He wrote about his memories of Afghanistan, an autobiographical story about a friendship between an 8-year-old boy, the son of a diplomat, and one of the family servants, an illiterate man from an ethnic minority group. The boy teaches the servant to read and write, and the servant teaches the child to fly kites. The book came out, and it was so phenomenally successful that Khaled Hosseini had a hard time writing his second one. But it came out in mid-2007, 1,000 Splendid Sons, a story narrated by 2 Afghani women, Miriam and Layla. A very different book with a lot of main characters and multi-generational, told from alternating points of view. It was the best-selling book in Britain in 2008. Here's a poem for today by Emily Dickinson. It was a quiet way. It was a quiet way, he asked if I was his. I made no answer of the tongue, but answer of the eyes. And then he bore me on before this mortal noise with swiftness as of chariots and distance as of wheels. This world did drop away as acres from the feet of one that leaneth from balloon upon an ether strait. The gulf behind was not, the continents were new, eternity it was before, eternity was due. No seasons were to us, it was not night nor morn, but sunrise stopped upon the place and fastened it in dawn. A poem by Emily Dickinson, It Was a Quiet Way. That's the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, March the 4th, funded by donations from listeners like you. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.